Okay, this video is going to be the second one in the series on assaulting an enemy trench. It's going to be emplacing a foothold in the enemy trench. If we're going to clear that trench, we got to get inside, don't we? So I'm going to show you a couple techniques on how to get into the trench. And there is some variations on the stuff too I will mention. Now, when you assault an enemy trench, you want to enter at a location that's the most advantageous to you, where it looks like it's the weakest point, where you're going to be able to get the best cover, you're going to be able to provide the best possible direct fire on the enemy to keep their heads down, to suppress them, to take them out, so that your people can set that foothold, and then you can start sending people into the trench itself. We don't do like they did in World War I, fix bayonets and charge in line into the enemy's weapons in a trench. No, you pick a couple locations on that trench, set that foothold, and then you start spreading through that trench like a drop of oil on a pond of water. So first off, we're going to go through an enemy emplacement like we did in the first video. We're going to be going up. One squad has been designated to be the assault squad to get us into that trench, get us in there, set that foothold so the rest of the platoon, the other squads, can start following behind it and start clearing that trench line. Now, when we do this, we're going to have one team is going to concentrate fires in one area. The other team's going to concentrate in another. You don't want your teams to crisscross in front of each other where you can have friendly fire take out your own people by accident. So we got one team, their support by fire. They're back here a ways. They're providing fire right into the emplacement itself, right on the gun. They're also putting their fire in on the rest of the trench that's going out this way. Don't forget the rest of the element, the rest of your battalion, the rest of your company, they're spread out also to your right, to your left, providing fire on the trench, trying to keep the enemy concentrating on them, not the assault team that's going up. This is done by either a fire team or a full squad. Now, we're sending one team up or potentially an entire squad, and another squad is down here providing our support by fire. They're going to set in, they're going to approach as fast and stealthily as possible, get into position just short of that trench. When I mean just short, you want to be within a couple meters of it. You want to be within hand grenade throwing distance. So we're going to do it 4-person team. Well, we're going to have half of that team. I'm just going to do them as X's. They're going to be our flank support by fire. So they're going to be concentrating out that way. And this one over here, he's going to be concentrating a little bit farther back in the trench than where we're going to be entering at. The rest of the team is right here. Everyone is going to be in the prone. We're going to be assaulting it just behind the emplacement. So these guys should be a little bit farther forward here. And I'll correct that quick before someone makes that comment. That was my screw up. So we're set up a little bit past the emplacement. We got support by fire set up here. He's providing fire here. He's providing covering fire this way on the trench over here. Our 2 assault team, they're going to be down in a prone, laying forward. So you're going to have one guy this way, one guy this way, their legs should be pretty close, that they can kick each other as a signal that, hey, this is the moment. Remember, there's a lot of fire going on. There's going to be a hell of a lot of noise, so they're not necessarily going to hear each other. They're going to have practice this over and over. They're going to know that, hey, I toss my grenade when he kicks me in the leg. So, when the moment comes to enter, they will have their weapon sitting right next to them where they can grab it quickly with their firing hand. They'll have a grenade in their hands, and I'll show you the way to do that. This guy will throw his grenade into here to set it off. This guy will throw his into the position to set it off. They will throw them at the exact same time. So when the one kicks the other in the leg, that's a signal, throw now. You chuck them in there, you've cooked them off, or you cook it off and then throw it in, whatever you come up with your little battle drill. Grenades go off, they then grab their weapons and they assault inside. This guy goes right into here. He kills everyone that's in here, and then points his weapon that direction. This guy goes into here, concentrates his weapon in this direction, but if anyone's right in front of him when he goes in, puts a round in through him. This guy clears in through here. As soon as those grenades go off, that's a signal for these guys out here that, hey, I need to stop concentrating any fire, period, on this position. I need to concentrate only to its right. Okay, we get into a position here. Now, the person that's assaulting into the trench, their weapon will be on their firing side, whichever side it is, sitting right next to them, so that they can just reach, grab quick, pick it up when they go in. They'll pull out a grenade. As soon as you pull it out, you prep it. Remove the safety pin, drop it on the ground. And I'm talking the secondary, not the primary. If there is no secondary, don't worry about it. Has that grenade, his finger in the pull ring, secured in his throwing hand. He's got it tight up into his chest, right below his chin. You remember, you're in the prone, you're right there. And I got this lower so that you can see it. When he gets that kick, pull the pin, cook it. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, throw. Tosses it into the trench. It goes off at that 5-second mark. Boom. As soon as it goes off, grabs that weapon, gets up, sprints forward right into the trench. Okay, the next one here, it's going to be assaulting into the trench line itself. There's a couple little variations on this one. Same setup though. We have the one team that's going forward, or one squad. The rest of the unit is providing support by fire. We picked a location where we believe that's our best, most advantageous breach point. It's going to be a spot where the enemy's not going to be able to rush reinforcements into quickly. So you're not going to do it right in front of a troop bunker, a sleep location, or right next to a communications trench. You're trying to enter on the fighting trench. So we still have our support by fire. They're going to be here basically online. They're going to be concentrating to the sides. The other two, the ones that are actually going to enter, are going to come in here. Now there's two variations on this. They can be facing each other, or they can be away from each other. So if they're going to be facing each other, it's going to be the same way like it was coming in through the emplacement. They're going to be down on the prone, the grenade up in their chest, signal each other, and then they chuck them in. One guy would throw it forward of him, the other guy will throw it this way into the trench. Now the other variation, which we've done in the past, we would have them line up on the ground, facing away from each other. Their legs close enough that they're touching down at their feet. Same procedure, they're laying down in a prone, facing straight up. Grenade is in the chest, prepped. Weapon is right next to them. They are more than 1 arm's length away from the side of the trench because they're going to have their weapon right next to them. Their weapon will be away from the trench because you don't want to roll over the top of your weapon. It gets uncomfortable and it's annoying. Now, when the one guy kicks the other guy in the foot, same thing. Pull the safety pin, cook it off. 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000. They then roll over. So they go from their back, they roll over onto their stomach. Grenade is in the arm away from the trench. It comes over and you chuck it down inside the trench. So his grenade's going to be going in right here. His grenade's going to be going in right here. They're now down in a prone, facing the dirt because they are right next to where that explosion is going to go off. It goes off. They then reach, grab their weapon, and they roll into the trench. These guys, they know, obviously cease fire as soon as they see those grenades are going in. They put their heads in the dirt also. Grenade goes off. This guy rolls in. This guy rolls in. This guy will concentrate his search going that way. This guy will concentrate his search going that way. And then these two will then come in at the exact same point where these two came in. Right between the two of them. You've then created your foothold. And then you start clearing the trench. Now, if I can pull this off, and it would take a hell of a lot of coordinating and stuff to do it, I want to, at the end of this series, sometime in spring, early summer, I want to construct a section of trench line, get someone to maybe help me out, and we will demonstrate all the techniques I'm going to tell you about in this series of videos. I want to go through, do it combat speed, live fire, basically. We will not have ammunition. We'll have weapons or dummy weapons. I'll figure that out. That's if I can pull it off. So, if you got questions on this, put them in the comments. If you guys had a slightly different technique in your unit, hey, put it in the comments. I'm always willing to learn different variations on this stuff. And we need to get that info out there for anyone who may need to know this in the future, whether they serve in the U.S. military or potentially they're serving on what may be the front lines in Taiwan or the front lines in Ukraine, or for, I can guarantee they're trained on this on a regular basis in Korea, so they ain't got to worry too much on it, but maybe we can teach them a few ways they're not aware of. Now, for all my engineer brothers in the Patriot and militia movements, always remember, essayons.